In this presentation, we will explain U.S. export control laws related to AP Tech products. In the following slides, we explain customer responsibilities and management of export controls, and how and why an export license may be required. These laws apply to international and domestic customers and any subsequent resale or re-export. Even if a part is sold to be a component of a system to be exported, the sale is still controlled by that part's export control restrictions, if any, and the end use of the system. There are several export control agencies. However, the Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, a part of the U.S. Commerce Department, is generally the regulatory agency tasked with control of AP Tech's products. There are other federal agencies who have control over exports, such as the military and others, but our products are within the BIS jurisdiction. Within the BIS export control framework, there are several reasons for export controls. They include national security, anti-terrorism, chemical and biological weapons, and others. These reasons are specified on a per-country basis for each type of controlled export. The transactions that are controlled are all exports of items from the USA. However, re-exports and/or resale of items sold domestically are also controlled. Sales to certain entities, individuals, or organizations on the U.S. government lists are also controlled. Shipments within the USA to foreign nationals are also controlled. Essentially, anything being sold domestically or internationally is subject to BIS control, although the vast majority of products are not controlled. The rules are complex, but essentially the rules are based on the following. What is the item? Where is it going? Who will receive it? And what will be the end use? Answering these key questions will help you determine if the product, use, customer, or location requires an export license. How does a customer determine what sales are subject to export control? AP Tech products requiring licenses have established classifications which must be reviewed on a per-sale basis to see if the specific sale is controlled. Certain countries or entities may require a license even if the product itself does not require a license. The intended use of a product may require a license. Some items cannot be shipped to a given destination or entity for any reason. If in doubt, please check with AP Tech and we'll help you determine if an export license is needed. ECCN 2B999.N is an export control classification number, or ECCN, for all valves and regulators which are made from austenitic stainless steel. This includes 300 series stainless such as 316L stainless used in AP Tech products. The reason for control is anti-terrorism. This means we cannot ship to several countries without a license. These countries include North Korea, Iran, Iraq, and others. Other countries such as China, South Korea, or countries of the European Union require no license. NLR means no license required. As a result, this classification has very little impact on purchases of AP Tech products. ECCN 2B350.G is a classification code that applies to all metal valves with more than 40% nickel content and connections of 10 mm or greater in size. This includes all valves and regulator bodies made with UNS N06022 alloy, including Hastelloy C22 material with half-inch connection sizes or larger. The reason is anti-terrorism and biological and chemical weapons non-proliferation. Exports to countries with electronics manufacturing industries such as Israel, Taiwan, Singapore, and others require a license. The impact on purchasing AP Tech products is minimal. If half-inch UNS N06022 bodies are required, please check to see if a 3/8 inch connection is acceptable. 3/8 inch connections on UNS N06022 bodies are not controlled by ECCN 2B350.G. While there is not a requirement for you to know or document each order's final location or use, you are responsible to investigate if you sense red flags. Red flags are suspicious indications pertaining to the use or application of our products. These red flags include any reference or indication the product will be used in relation to weapons of any sort. This includes any of the reasons for export control already mentioned, and, additionally, nuclear, missiles, aerospace, chemicals that can be weaponized, and any research associated with these areas. In a word, weapons. Weapons create red flags and require further investigation. A license may be required regardless of who they are and where they are located. Use common sense. If there are indications that the product will be used for an activity or application of concern, investigate it further and/or contact the factory, as a license may be required. There are many lists of parties of concern from several federal agencies that make up the Do Not Ship To list. The most relevant list to AP Tech is the Commerce Department's list. The Commerce Department list includes 4 groups. The denied persons list are the people who have lost export privileges due to export control violations. The unverified list are end users who BIS has not been able to verify in prior transactions and should be further investigated. The entity list is organized by country and includes people and entities such as corporations that cannot be party to a transaction without an export license. An example of the entity list is shown on the right. The license review policy is also listed. Presumption of denial means that you can apply for a license but expect it to be rejected. The military end user list are parties that are known to be involved in military end uses. As mentioned, there are other federal agencies with lists that require an export license if they're party to any transaction. These are less commonly related to AP Tech products, but also must be checked. Conveniently, the U.S. government publishes a consolidated screen list which includes all the relevant lists with a single search. The current web address is noted on the bottom of this slide. What if we just ignore these export control laws? The punishment for violations range from warning to fine and imprisonment. Yes, people have gone to prison and/or paid substantial monetary fines. Even if you're a foreign national not in the United States, you risk being put on the U.S. Entity List and you will not be allowed to trade with any U.S. companies or products made with sufficient U.S. content or technology. We ask that you are aware of the export control laws and monitor for red flags of illegal exports. If an export license will be required, we will provide you with Form 1008, also available on our website under Government Regulations. A letter from the local government to verify customer and product use may be required. Please do not accept an order requiring a license until the license has been granted. Remember, codes and do not ship lists change without notice. This means we should review our customer lists against the consolidated do not ship list. Most up-to-date lists and laws are located on the searchable Electronic Federal Code of Regulations. The parties of concern appear on the Federal Code of Regulations first before they're propagated to other databases. Let's summarize your responsibilities as a customer in relation to export control laws. You now know that 2 ECCN classifications include certain AP Tech products. You should know your customer, especially if they are new or you sense red flags. To ensure that no shipments are made to entities on any of the various lists, check the consolidated screening list monthly. If you suspect that the application is unusual, please ensure that the product will not be used on applications that are of concern. This primarily means weapons-related applications. If you sense a red flag, ask the customers how the product will be used. You should also be aware of where the product is going. That may also be a red flag. If the sale is to a reseller, inquire about the final customer and country if suspicious. Check the consolidated screen list or ask AP Tech to assist. If an export license is required, you must make sure the customer knows there will be a delay caused by the license application. Export control is complicated. Don't hesitate to ask. There are no dumb questions, so don't guess or assume. AP Tech will help you determine if an export license is required. And please don't rely on advice from your freight forwarder or shipping agent. They have no liability for wrong advice, but you and AP Tech have liability for wrong actions.